What's up, y'all? Dylon here, and today is day 29 of 30 days of 100 squats each day for each one of those days. So, like this video, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get rolling on day 29. I get some squats in, did some body weight squats earlier, but I think I'm gonna hit some back squats for this first session. So for back squats, I like to use different supplies. So I'll use the longer cables for back squats. And you should be using cables when you do the back squats on this thing because you don't want to get crushed. Getting crushed is no good. You know, you, your friends, your family, the people you like, even the people you don't like, probably like you better when you're not crushed. So don't want you to get hurt. So use these longer cables so that if for any reason you can't finish a rep, it's not going to squish you. So I'm going to do 25 of these guys. I'm going to hit some chest in between and finish off with some. And then do some other body weight squats in between for this workout. So I'm doing a combo of weights and body weights to get the reps in. Again, the reps are the most important thing here. Right? Let's see here if I can go find my app. Connect to my machine. Oh, I almost forgot. Like, it's so easy to turn this thing on. I can just flip a button and then I forgot to put shoes on. So you don't need shoes on when you lift. In fact, like if you're doing some squats and deadlifts, some people lift barefoot on the Vitruvian. It's totally fine to do that. It can strengthen the muscles in your feet. But let's see here. Let's reset that app. One downside to this machine that would be great if they fixed it or if they added this is that you have to use your phone. It'd be great if it just had a plug where I could just plug in like a controller or like plug in my phone directly, so it doesn't need any sort of wireless connection or internet, and you could operate the machine. I think that'd be really cool. So if you had an analog thing, but it probably adds cost and complexity. You probably have to have a computer or something like that. I'm no engineer there, but it'd be neat. Especially like if the power goes out. I know a lot of people say the internet's going to go out and power's going to go out. And if that happens, well, your Vitruvian's just going to be a glorified, toe stubber on the ground. Maybe you could get fancy and do some modern art with it. But it's not going to be as effective. I mean, I guess you could use a generator, but you do need the internet. Right? That's the other thing. You need the internet to be able to unlock the full potential of the machine unless you're a hacker and you can figure that out on your own. Let's just do, I guess, back squat. Connect. All right, we are connected. So, back squat. Let's talk about back squat. When I'm doing lots of reps, when I'm doing lower weight for the reps on the back squat, I found that the old school mode is better. So we're going to do 75 pounds or 150 pounds. I found the old school mode is better because when I was doing the time under tension mode, even though I had beast mode activated, what was happening was it would lower the weight when I would drop down, and I didn't like that because I want to keep the weight consistent throughout the rep. And because I was lowering it too fast, it wanted the safety mechanism kicked in, which is fine. I want the safety mechanism to kick in, but I didn't like how fast it was, so I switched it to old school. That's why the safety cables are even more important. And I found old school holds the tension better throughout the range when I have the back squat bar on my back. So we're going to do 25 reps here and get these things in, hopefully before my Vitruvian my GoPro dies. Okay, so that's, that kind of is rep 1. And it's not a bad thing that it does that because now it kind of sets the peak for my range of motion. 2. And if you ever have range of motion problems on this thing, just like try doing variations where you only do 80%. So you leave 10% off the bottom and 10% off the top, so you can make sure that the machine calculates full range of motion. I've had it sometimes where like I'm at the apex of the movement and the machine's like, you haven't completed a rep yet. I'm like, yes, I have. But you just have to play around or just like stop your set and then reset it. Doesn't happen often though. So we're at 3. Okay, there's no weight. There we go. Weight. And so old school, it keeps the tension. And especially when it's lower weight, it loads it pretty fast. And back squats are harder than the belt squats because the weight's on your back, and so you have to engage your core a lot more. That is what I came to realize again, which is great, actually. I like it. All right, that's 25 reps. I'm just gonna lower it slowly. Weight is done. That's it for those ones. Gotta get some upper body in. Day 21, 9. I'm excited that tomorrow is day 30. Right, just for, been busy with work a lot. It's important to get all these things in. But taking one rest day isn't terrible. But maybe that's just like the weak version of myself speaking. And, you know, it knows it's going to be freed here soon. But that's also one of the reasons why I do these challenges and I'll commit to the 30 days, whether it's squats, pull-ups, bench press, diet, no alcohol, or whatever it is, no sugar, because it forces you to not listen to that bitch voice of yours, right? It forces you to, even when you don't feel like it, to go through with it. And for the better, right? Because you're challenging yourself to become a better version of yourself, right? Hope you're not challenging yourself to become a worse version of yourself. Don't do that. Don't do that. But it challenges you to become a better version of yourself. So even when you don't feel like it, or you think, oh, it'll be okay if I take a day off, right? When you're doing the challenge, or when I'm doing the challenge, I can't, right? Because then I fail the challenge. And if I'm not doing a challenge, I'm like, yeah, sure, I can take a day off, right? Because I didn't make a commitment, an agreement with myself to do something. So I'm not breaking that commitment. It's not an excuse, but it's just a different dynamic. And so incorporating these in your life, I think, is important, that the challenge itself becomes a commitment you make. Hey, I'm committed to do 3 challenges, 4 challenges, 5 challenges, whatever it is, whatever number you come up with this year, right? And you can space them out, do a month apart, 2 months apart, you can do them all in a row, right? But I think having the periods of time and having more periods of time where you are dedicated and committed and you're channeling the higher version of yourself and the lower version of yourself will make you win, right? If you can do that 90% of the time, right, you're going to beat the person that only does it 80% of the time, generally speaking. If you can do it 95%, right, you're going to win. But I don't think 100% is possible. Maybe I'm wrong. But, I'm in the camp where it's okay to take a break from that from time to time. But you got to make up for that break. You got to earn that break. You can take a break, but just know that, you got to earn that next break. You got to earn it back. And if you have that mindset, I think you'll be all right. So anyways, that is day 29 of 100 squats a day for 30 days. I'm going to do some upper body. I'm going to do some more squats. And maybe my next challenge is going to be cardio, because not being